Today is, of course, a big day for us to join into this meditation. I believe it's the 25th of August, and it is the time when the effects of the full moon energies and the activations and new frequencies which were brought to us have had some time to integrate into the human self. So as we move within, we become aware of the new energy that is available, that has been downloaded into our energy field. And we can choose, if we wish, to lift ourselves a little to meet that new frequency which is now available to us, and which is, over the coming days and weeks, creating a shift within. So there is always something in the personality, in the ego self, which uses the mind, which rests or stays in its own lower vibration. It hasn't let go to fully receive and enter into the higher divine light. So as we rest together now, quietly letting go in the body, become aware of that little bit of you that is still there, that stays in its lower vibration. It's not necessary for it to be in words. It's an inner state which you carry with you, that you may not even be aware of. But if you can pick up that sensation, that feeling, that experience of it within you, you may be able to give it a name. And to know it, to observe it, to become aware of it. For this is the part that we find hardest to release, and yet it releases in a moment when we enter into the higher frequencies and the fifth dimension. It no longer exists in that dimension. So we quietly spend a couple of minutes with ourselves. The Arcturians, of course, are with us, surrounding us with their crystal temple structures of light. The Arcturian consciousness forming this temple and assisting us. Allow yourselves to feel the loving support how they are comforting you. Bringing in much of the Divine Mother love. For it is love which heals all pain. Look back at your day or days. And recall the parts of yourself that you've been unable to tolerate. Some of us are apathetic and can't get ourselves together. Some start something and never finish it. Some are compulsive and obsessive. Some are impatient. And so on. Anxiety, anger, guilt. There's quite a list. Much of our temperament comes from the arrangement of the planets when we incarnated. Strengths and weaknesses, talents and difficulties. So imbalances are created, so to speak. And these imbalances we have chosen because it's the things that we need to master. Our soul is on a journey of self-mastery. And so particular traits within our character that come from the planetary alignments which show us aspects which we still need to work on are all part of the learning towards self-mastery of the soul. But generally, rather than taking this approach, we tend to criticize, condemn, and feel uncomfortable with ourselves, feel guilty, and all the other array of emotions. So let us see if we can change our attitude, our perception towards the human self. To see these aspects as challenges, to know that the lower cannot raise itself. It is only the higher that can raise the lower. And much time has been spent trying to teach us love and compassion for self. So when we find ourselves in an inner state which we feel uncomfortable with, can you see this as a challenge towards your self-mastery? To accept in any moment whatever is taking place in your human self with compassion, with unconditional love, with acceptance and embrace all that you are in any moment as a human. For you are here to have such experiences. And self-mastery does not come from attacking oneself. It can only come from raising one's frequency into the divine. To be the observer, but unattached, free from attachment of what you observe. In your I am presence, your soul connection, finding the love and compassion within the high heart, and together with your conscious awareness, you observe with love and understanding the lower self. For how else can the lower self grow? The lower self does not evolve by being criticized, beaten up, having anger thrown at it. It too needs to learn. And the kindness of the teacher facilitates this learning. Eventually, all unbalanced energies return to balance, not through rejection, but through loving acceptance. And this is also how your pain and sorrow will be washed away. All suffering is forgotten in the embrace of the love of Christ, which is available to us if only we receive it. So the Arcturians are building the light and love within your high heart. And you come into that place where suffering no longer exists. It is a frequency of consciousness. And as your frequency is raised and comes into alignment with the frequency of the heart, your inner state shifts from the lower self, the human being, the ego self, to the divine self. And the divine self knows only love. There is nothing wrong with being human. And wishing to be different comes from the ego. When you move away from the ego, which uses the mind, into your being within, everything will calm. Everything will return to balance. And you will not be so polarized. The highest state of being is to be present within and not to feel there is anything you need to change. Total acceptance of all that is in any moment. And it is a paradox, is it not, that it is this inner state of being that brings the change that we all want. For it is already in existence, already within as our true essence. Where one simply is. So the Arcturians, of course, are continuing to lift our frequency throughout our circle. And in this higher frequency, we feel our connection, the oneness within our group. How each one's energy in this uplifted state is assisting each other. Notice how we are free from comment, free from judgment of each other. We simply are in one frequency of higher light and love. Nothing else except a group consciousness. And this consciousness continues to expand as the many Arcturians that are with us continue to infuse us with their energy. The blue, divine feminine, the blue Arcturian light, and much is releasing. So rest a while and continue to receive. Feel how you are embraced in love, for love is all there is. In the fifth dimension and beyond, much healing is taking place. Nothing you need to ask for or to do. Simply be in allowance. Continue to receive. The Arcturians, of course, as we all know, are always available to bring us into balance, to raise our frequency, to clear our aura, to take us into a healing chamber. We simply ask and make ourselves available to receive. And there are always many beings available to us, as we all know, to call to the beautiful Sirian energy, the wonderful Andromedans, and so on. Many ascended masters are working with us. Lord Sananda, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, the list is endless. And the archangels and angels. So we're going through a time where we all need a lot of extra support to be able to integrate these higher frequencies which are coming in more and more quickly. We know the importance of grounding and anchoring. But let us all become aware now of the many angels which surround us. Relax down, become porous, and feel the purity and love of the multitude of angels that are surrounding you. They are always there, waiting for you to connect to them, to call to them, to ask of them. Ask your angels to fill you with their love. know that you can call on them and receive their love whenever you need assistance. The longer you sit with them, the more powerful the connection becomes, the more their love enters in. Until you feel in oneness with the angelic realm, their purity and love. So they can only gift you if you ask. They are always waiting to be asked. So difficult to move away from such angelic love, but we would like now to also suggest to you that you connect to Gaia's crystal kingdom and allow the crystals to assist you. So move down now into your foundation, your lower body, and feel your connection into the earth and into her core. You may have noticed that immediately that we suggested you connect to the crystal consciousness, the crystal consciousness immediately filled the crystal temple. So the consciousness of many, many crystals has risen into the temple from below. There may be a particular crystal energy which you feel drawn to. Or you may simply be drawn to the collective crystal consciousness, for their cosmic consciousness is being awakened, as their frequency and power is also being reawakened. They can give you much healing, much support, much information. If you would like to connect to them and draw their energy upwards into your aura, and ask. So you allow the higher crystal consciousness into your being to flow through you. As you choose to come into oneness with the crystal consciousness, allowing them to merge into your consciousness. There are also many power spots upon the planet that you can draw energy from, and we often bring the energy from Traegura. This powerful energy from the valley in the Pyrenees is being drawn into the temple and into our circle. One of the most powerful energies upon the planet, and continues to expand, working throughout the entire planet and available to you wherever you may wish to use it. So we always tell you, you are never alone. So we ask you, when you are feeling down, why do you not ask? Allow your consciousness to expand a little now, upwards and outwards, and become aware of the galaxy. Of the star systems that you are familiar with, of your Son, sending the Christ consciousness from Sananda constantly. Look through your third eye at the star systems that you are familiar with, even other galaxies. And all these higher consciousnesses are available to you. They are directing their energies to Earth continuously and immediately connect when they see any human wishing to connect with them, to simply the one consciousness that flows throughout the whole galaxy. That triggers that spark of connection when you simply send the call, or they send energy constantly and feel so much joy when someone actually receives it. So you are not alone. Your support is huge. And we will keep you in balance, help you with your grounding, maintaining your alignment and your frequency as you hold the light for the world at this challenging time. May we please ask you to accept your human self. You have come here to be human. Humans have emotions. Experience your emotions willingly, and they will simply be able to flow out of you rather than being held within. And you will find it easier and easier to remain in your light by accepting all that is. And you will find such peace within. The peace that you have always yearned for and never found. It is within you. It is available to you. And when you free yourself from self-judgment. You will be free. So we invite you to spend some time now enjoying, basking in the wonderful energies that fill this temple of your guides and teachers, your angels, the crystal kingdom, consciousness, Mother Earth. And all those who you invite to be with you. Allow the bliss, allow the love, allow the joy. It is also a joyful experience for all of us to be invited into your circle. For our greatest joy is to be of service. And we are completely unconditional in our service to you and the love which we send you and which we feel for you. So you have received and are continuing to receive much healing, much releasing, much clearing of your energy field. A recalibration to the new frequency and new activations. We are, of course, always working on all levels of your multidimensional self. And in alignment with your soul. When we see you, we see the whole of who you are, the the whole of your soul through all time and dimensions. And we see your magnificence. So we suggest now excuse me, that you get ready to open your eyes and feel so fully anchored and grounded within your magnificent physical body and your human self. And learn to exist in both realms simultaneously. And your third dimensional existence will become filled with joy and beauty and love.